May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and here at Spectrum News, we're making a commitment to covering this important topic. Today, we're introducing a new segment, Your Mental Health with Dr. Nicole Cross. Joining us now is Spectrum News anchor and national mental health correspondent, Dr. Nicole Cross. Dr. Cross, welcome. Tell our viewers a little bit about your experience in the mental health field.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Anthony. You know, I studied communications and psychology in school. I got a bachelor's in psychology, a master's in behavioral science, and a PhD in counselor education. For more than 20 years, I've done pretty much everything you can do as a psychotherapist. I've worked in the public sector, the private sector. I've had a private practice. I've worked as a university professor. And then I thought I want to reach even more people. So I decided to build a bridge to journalism because the reach of journalism is far-reaching indeed. And I really want to make sure that people enjoy a high quality of life. And you cannot do that without peace of mind. And that is why I've done that work both as a psychotherapist and as a journalist.
You bring a wealth of experience. Every week you're going to delve into a topic about mental health in this country. Today, the focus is on a mental health crisis among a specific group. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. Research shows that structural racism, stereotypes, and access to proper health care can impact Black men's ability to speak up about their stressors or concerns. And now psychologists are sounding the alarm about rising suicide rates among Black men in America, due in part to the unique challenges they face. I spoke with a group of men and got a raw and real insight into their lives as Black men in America. Take a listen. Describe what it is like to be a Black man in America. Dr. Prince, let's start with you.
Well, it's two things, right? It's a beauty. There's something very wonderful about being a Black man in America. However, we're also living in an era of terrorism that our Black bodies are being assaulted on a regular basis, whether it be on television, sometimes in our personal lives. And so having to kind of find a way of recovering from that can be quite difficult. So there's beauty, but there's also a lot of misery.
I would add that, especially when you talk about a younger generation of Black men, what we experienced going through the COVID pandemic, we witnessed, so many things in the previous comments that we have this joy of celebrating Blackness, but this understanding that there are still so many critical issues, whether we talk about voting rights, public health, or public safety, that we continue to see Black men at the crosshairs of and in danger.
Victor, tell us about your first encounter with racism or discrimination and how it affected you.
Probably as early as 10 years old, playing basketball with friends and having police officers, ask us what we were doing. And I think it's always been that type of relationship with the outside world. You heard, the others talk about vulnerability. I think it's always been about navigating, the terrain of what Blackness looks like to others.
What about for you, Justin?
Yes, I mean, I've experienced racism throughout a lot of times. My first experience, I would say outside, while I was in the military, was a real big experience, getting pulled over and getting arrested and having to go back to work and explain why I was arrested and really trying to defend from my perspective, the racism part of it, but being in that environment, not everybody understanding it, I said that always played a role and majorly affected me for sure.
All right, some important information right there. Dr. Cross, what other types of topics do you plan to cover each week at this time here on Spectrum News Plus?
Anthony, we plan on covering the mental health spectrum. That includes mental health related legislation, research, and trends. We also plan to highlight what's working, featuring a nonprofit that's making a difference, a celebrity who's raising awareness, or a medication that's showing promise.
All right, Dr. Nicole Cross, we look forward to it. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
And tune into Spectrum News for the State of Mental Health in America special with Dr. Cross on Tuesday, May 23rd. It airs at 9 p.m. Eastern.